Jack. Hey, Paul, it's great seeing you today. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Fans, obviously, they're going crazy with this premiere. I want to know how challenging it was for you to join this show that already had the audience, loving it and conquered.
It's nice to join something that's already successful. It makes it a little bit easier going into it. And I remember my agent told me, he's like, right now they're out to Zach Woods and Jack Whitehall, and he's naming all these people that I'm a fan of. So I was super stoked to get to jump on board this thing.
Yeah, it's also quite nice. It takes away that element that you often have when you're doing a new show where you're sort of quite scared about the reception that it might receive and how successful it's going to be realized. But with this, because there was this sort of proof of concept in the fantastic first season, it made it quite an easy thing to want to get on board with, and maybe took away that element that you normally have hanging over you when you're doing a show.
My mother says hello. She wanted to be here, but she was busy with silence and alcohol.
And let's talk about Sebastian and Travis, your characters. What would you say they would bring to this new plot and this story?
I guess Travis brings sort of a childlikeness, I would say, and sort of like a innocence to a very non-innocent setting. He's a bit of an underdog in the story, but he's also not really to be trusted because he has a pretty crazy motive.
Sebastian, I think, just brings withering put-downs to the show and is just sort of contemptuous towards every single character and puts them in their place, which I think is a useful presence to have sometimes in a show.
I feel like Sebastian has really good poise throughout a very difficult circumstance.
Yes.
Edgar is a crumb, and Grace knows that I'm
What's that?
pretty handy with a broom. That was a broom.
That's how I can tell you've never swept before.
It's like a lightsaber.
How would you say it's the coexistence, the dynamic between so many comedians on set? How do you handle the issue of, laughing on set as well?
There's a lot of laughing. There's a lot of laughing offset where we're just sitting around and engaging each other in like a circle of chairs. That was some of my favorite moments of all time of any acting I've ever done. We're just getting to sit with the whole cast and make each other laugh and tell stories.
Yeah. I would also say what was unique about this experience is that it was a lot of, loosely use the term comedians, but a lot of people that are very good at improv, and often you can have a show or a movie like that where you've got lots of people that are sort of jostling for their own bits, and it can be quite a competitive atmosphere, and it really never felt like that. Everyone was very collaborative and wanted to bring the best out of each other, and it had a really nice atmosphere on set all of the time. And even when people were doing bits of improv, it always felt like you were working with a partner rather than someone that was trying to kind of upstage you. And I think that's quite a rare thing to find, especially in a show like this with so many distinctive comedic voices.
This whole thing is so much more complex than you guys realize.
Who was the one who made the most pranks on set?
I think Anna Conkle made me laugh the most when she would improvise and do alternate line reads. I was just like, holy cow, how is she funny every single time? It was crazy.
Yeah, she was.
What about you?
I would have said Paul, but because he said Anna, I'm going to say I'll say Sam. Sam was my favorite.
Thank you so much for this time, guys. And honestly, the show, what I've got the chance to see the first episodes, it's crazy and it's wonderful.
Thanks.
And it's really, really, really joyful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to talk to you.